program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and it is my honor and privilege to be here every chance I get to help empower you as an individual in what you can do on your own. And even if you are working with a medical practitioner, you can make that experience better. Well, today we are going to be talking to a doctor who is going to go through some of those things to help you get more educated on what you can do. Now, this program is being sponsored by dailywithDocandBecca.com. No, it's just dailywithdoc.com. Sorry about that. And you can go to our website, you can sign up for our email list, you can find information and more articles about the importance of nutrition to help educate you as an individual, and also get a good foods, bad foods list. So if you're trying to figure out what can I eat, what shouldn't I eat, well, folks, we've got Dr. Wallach's list right there. And for those of you who do not know Dr. Wallach, he is one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics. Now, if you don't know what epigenetics is, that is the science that proves that the genetic transmission of disease is incorrect. And he has thousands and thousands of autopsies in his 3 pathology postdoctorates that prove it. So I'm super excited to be able to continue his message here on Daily with Doc, as he is one of my mentors, my friends, and the man that actually got me into wanting to become a naturopathic practitioner myself. Now, if somebody invited you to this program, make sure that you get back with them. They are your #1 point of contact because they cared enough about you to share this program with you, because they know that there is information within that is going to help you either maybe close the gap on some of your understanding or give you new ideas to think about when it comes to your health and wellness. And to help me do that today, we are going to be looking at the missing link and why nutrition belongs in every medical practice. So to help me do that, I am honored and privileged to be able to welcome to the screen, first time ever on Daily with Doc, Dr. Kurt Anderson, Doctor of Chiropractic and founder of bodyworks.us. And that is BODYWORX.US. So Dr. Anderson has dedicated his career to helping people move better, recover from pain, and improve their quality of life through chiropractic care and patient-centered treatment. So throughout his years in practice, he has had the opportunity to witness firsthand that true healing rarely comes when addressing only a piece of the puzzle. So today we're going to be going into exploring some of my favorite topics, like what happens when excellent clinical care is combined with excellent nutrition. It's the only thing that helps me, folks. And can nutrition improve outcomes? Can it reduce recovery time? Can it help practitioners better serve their patients? So if you're a practitioner or you have a friend that's a practitioner, you want to make sure that you share this program with them. And how can healthcare providers build practices that focus not on treating disease, but on building health? So, Dr. Anderson, thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to get you on screen with me. There you are. Go through the list. Hello and welcome to Daily with Doc, Dr. Kurt Anderson. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you, Becca. It's good to be here.
Well, I am so glad that I know you've got a busy schedule, but you fit us in anyways, and you just have an amazing story to share, knowledge to share, and we are just super excited to have you as part of our longevity family. So
thank you.
Let's start out by you telling us a little bit about your journey.
I got into chiropractic quite by accident. When I was 9, I was sitting in the back seat of a car in Virginia Beach at a stoplight, and we got rear-ended by a big Buick. We were in a Mercury Cougar, which has a short little trunk, and I had some neck and back injuries from that accident, and then I had a lot of health challenges during the next 10 years. I really went to the medical doctor a lot, and they had me on a lot of anti-inflammatories, mainly naproxen. And I guess age 9 to almost age 30, I guess. So it was like 19 years of anti-inflammatories, and I had all kinds of side effects and digestive problems, ulcers, and other side effects from that medication. And then I got another car accident in 1991 in Pittsburgh. I know I got around the country a lot when I was working a temp job out there. I hadn't even got into chiropractic yet. I guess I was 31, and I got hit again by another Buick. And luckily I was in a Volvo 242, which is like kind of a tank. And I walked away from that accident. But I found that in Pennsylvania, they had some deal where I could go to the doc for free. And I decided to try the chiropractor instead, because I still had problems, even though I was on a lot of medication and gone to a lot of medical doctors and had a lot of MRIs of my body and x-rays, and it really didn't show much. But I still had the pain, headaches, and problems. And then I went to a chiropractor. I didn't really know what chiropractic was. I thought it was a massage. I thought it was a type of massage. And he put me on the table and he said, "Oh man, you're really crooked, you know." And I said, "Oh, sure. Whatever you say, doc." And then he took my neck and he kind of turned my head really far and cracked really loud. I'd never heard anything like that. And then he cracked he adjusted my mid-back. Now it's an adjustment, but I called it a crack back then. And I stood up from the table. It's the first time I had a absence of symptoms. The pain was gone, for a short time. And then I wasn't crazy about the work I was doing at the time. It was just mainly temp work. I think it was a recession at that time. Jobs are hard to come by, so I just took any job I could get. And I said, I should just go back to school and do this chiropractic. This is pretty cool. How's that?
Well, I think that is pretty cool. And I was in a car accident a year before finding Dr. Wallach's approach, and I was driving a Buick, rear-ended by a Volvo.
Oh,
Now that I
that's
think about
weird. That's strange, huh? Gosh.
so yeah, that got me I was not in a good spot, and chiropractic at the time was not doing all that I needed it to do. But when I added the nutrition, it really made a difference, which I'm super excited to have you on with us as we go through the questions that are coming. So are you ready to go ahead and get started?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my first question is, as you're looking back through your career, what has changed the most in patient health?
Over the last 20 years, the biggest transformation has been the evolution from a fringe alternative type movement into a scientifically validated mainstream component of conventional medicine. 20 years ago, holistic therapies were viewed with skepticism more, and people didn't really give it much credence. They thought it was it wasn't the mainstream. It was kind of a fringe treatment, and it really didn't have a lot of credibility at that time. I think it's moved into being a very credible treatment and a good alternative to medical treatment.
So, and what are some of the most common health problems that you're seeing today that you weren't seeing 20 years ago?
I guess chronic nervous system overdrive and high functioning anxiety. I think from the social media and the tech that's so prevalent with the since the days of the internet becoming big, and I guess 20 years ago, stress and anxiety were viewed through situational or clinical psychiatric lenses, with standard treatments focused on pharmaceutical management or episodic therapy. Or today, the combination of constant digital connectivity, 24/7 news cycle, screen light pollution, high-paced environments, has led to widespread sympathetic nervous system dominant states, chronic fight or flight syndrome, it's constant hyperarousal, it leads to elevated cortisol and adrenaline in the body, which in turn dysregulates digestion, disrupts deep sleep architecture, lowers pain thresholds, and accelerates systemic inflammation. I think
as you were, go ahead.
I think the persistent hyperarousal elevates baseline cortisol and adrenaline, which dysregulates digestion, disrupts deep sleep, lowers pain thresholds, and accelerates systemic inflammation.
I think you really nailed it there, because as you're reading through that, I'm thinking of all of the people that text me in the middle of the night with different news articles, and then I look at their health and wellness and where they're at. They've got nervous stomachs, they've got inability to sleep and insomnia. They're always on their phones or reading, the whatever's coming across, whatever feed that is that they're reading. So I think we're in an overstimulated era.
That's a good word.
That is really messing up with our nervous system, as you were saying. Yes.
Yeah, and then also there's tech neck, from looking down at your phone all the time.
Oh, get that hump that's right there.
People have straight necks, and it's just bad for your posture with the smartphones and the laptops. Sedentary work, sitting all day, is killer. Really bad for you.
So are those some of the things that you see walking into your office as your patients are coming in? And is that like a pattern to the pain? Is it pretty consistent?
Yeah, it has been pretty consistent across the board. It's very common. Yeah, but you have to convince people that that's happening. They don't realize oftentimes that it is happening.
How about those that are holding their their phones and they're having thumb issues? Do you get much of that
Thumb issues from the phone?
from holding their phone?
Actually adjust a lot of thumbs. So yeah, I guess it probably is a phone thumb. I had never thought of it. Yeah, that's right. I've had some great thumb adjustments actually, where the thumb comes out and really has a huge audible when it gets adjusted, and they're like, wow. And some people actually get shoulder relief from the thumb adjustment, which is pretty wild. Everything's
Oh,
connected though.
it's a huge relief to have the thumb adjusted, especially when it's causing some discomfort.
It's a very
And
satisfying adjustment.
oh, good. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you get satisfaction of helping people relieve their phone thumb pain.
Phone thumb, I'll have to remember that. Maybe put that in an ad, maybe. That's good
And there you
marketing
go.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. So at what point did you realize that nutrition becomes part of the conversation?
Well, it's nutrition provides the essential building blocks, of course, minerals and energy necessary to build, repair, and maintain the health of your bones, muscles, joints, tendons, and ligaments. So it comes right into the chiropractic thing, especially.
And
Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just thinking everything that you mentioned there has pretty much everything has to do with connective tissue and how the body's structure is held up or not. So with the connective tissue not being supported, do you think that there's more health issues, more structural, physical issues
It is
that
a
chiropractic
challenge.
is dealing with?
Yeah, it is a challenge to maintain structural integrity with the modern hyper-processed foods. And now everything, not everything, but a lot of food is starting to become genetically modified.
Mm-hmm.
And that affects your major nutrients for the skeletal system with calcium, vitamin D, protein, vitamin K, and magnesium. And those used to be in our everyday foods, whole foods that we would eat. But uh, in modern times, you'd be hard put to get those from the grocery store from processed foods or even from the natural foods because of you don't know what's GMO, what's not. If the soil is depleted, where they grew the crop for your vegetables and fruits. It is a challenge to meet the nutritional demands that the body requires. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we think that we're eating good and we're getting organic and non-GMO and the fruits and vegetables just are vibrant and look great, even if it's not non-GMO or organic. And the
Well, they
nutrition
have the
just
look.
is,
They have the look down. Yeah, they look great
hmm
with the
they look great.
dyes, and they do look dye. It's
Oh,
misleading though. It's misleading.
yes. So let's talk about why nutrition matters. Because many people think that chiropractic is only about spinal adjustments. How does nutrition influence the musculoskeletal system?
Well, you have your bone density and structure,
Mm-hmm.
and that involves getting proper amounts of calcium, vitamin D, protein, vitamin K, magnesium. You got muscle growth, repair, and function. You have your need for protein and amino acids, which can be a challenge to get from your protein supply, meat supply these days at the grocery store. The protein and amino acids are essential for protein synthesis. Dietary amino acids repair micro tears caused by physical exertion of, everybody experiences that in everyday life. And preventing sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss, is big in older people. And of course, you have to get your proper ratio of carbohydrates. primary energy source for muscle contraction during moderate to high intensity exertion. Depleted glycogen leads to muscle fatigue and increased muscle breakdown. And also you have your need for electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, which regulate electrical impulses across muscle cell membranes at the microscopic level. And imbalances can lead to muscle cramps, spasms, and weakness, which is very common. Then you have your connective tissue and joint health, tendons, ligaments, and cartilage rely on collagen-rich structures and joint fluid for flexibility and shock absorption, especially past middle age. This is a big deal. And you have your need for vitamin C, which is a crucial cofactor in collagen synthesis. Collagen provides tensile strength for tendons and ligaments, reducing the risk of strains and tears. And you have your need for omega-3 fatty acids, which is can be a challenge to get from your fish products, which they help regulate joint inflammation. So high dietary intake of omega-3s reduces stiffness and pain associated with inflammatory joint conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. Although, you have your autoimmune causes also there as far as rheumatoid. So you got to pay attention to that also.
Right.
And then there's the need for hydration. Cartilage is largely composed of water, so adequate hydration keeps joint cartilage lubricated, maintaining shock absorption and preventing joint friction. How's that?
Well, I mean, you mentioned several different things that are commonly heard, and people may not realize that those are the important minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and essential fatty acids that the body needs to support the body to do what it was designed to do. And that is to rebuild healthier and healthier. So
it's
even
a
if
constant,
there's
it's a constant rebuilding process, yes. So you need the constant flow of regular balanced nutrition is very important, crucial.
So what if you don't have that constant flow of nutrition and there is deficiency? Does that make it harder for adjustments to either happen, or if the adjustment does happen, to hold?
Yes, the adjustment depends on proper muscle tone. If there's hypertonic or spasm in the muscles, then of course that's going to affect the adjustment or make it impossible to adjust somebody actually. Or if the muscles are too flaccid or low muscle tone, then that can be the opposite problem. They get out of adjustment too easily. Easy to adjust, and then they come out too easily.
Yeah, I remember in my early 20s going to the chiropractor and getting a really good adjustment. But when I walked out the door, stepped off the curb, and then up into my Jeep, it snapped right back out and I had to go right back in.
Oh, that's frustrating.
It was very frustrating. And it's funny, folks, for some people, you look at them and they're thin, trim, think they're healthy, but they don't have those components that help hold the body the way it's supposed to be. So, Dr. Kurt, have you ever seen patients recover more quickly when nutrition has been addressed alongside the chiropractic care?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen patients have a noticeable improvement in their ability to hold the adjustment after following my recommended nutrition protocols. Absolutely. But
And do you have
sometimes it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes 2 to 6 weeks. It depends on how lacking they were.
Right. Do you happen to have a story to share about that?
There was a gentleman that was coming in for a mid-back pain, and it was a personal injury practice, so we really didn't have the means to test them nutritionally. But it was obvious he had bone thinning. It was obvious after a while. I didn't realize it at first, but when I would adjust his mid-back, the adjustments wouldn't hold. And he was always coming back, same adjustment. And then one day, one of his ribs fractured, which I was horrified. I thought I was going to be sued actually, but it was just a normal rib head adjustment, very gentle, and it just cracked. And I was like, you know, you have really serious bone thinning. And I put him on a vitamin D protocol. And then the recovery was dramatic. He actually gained 20 pounds without getting fat. So I guess it was bone density he must have gained. So
Wow.
and then we were able to adjust him firmly without worrying about breaking breaking things. You know, he was hurting. It was horrible nutrition. He was a trucker, so that's
Okay.
a rough profession anyway. They get terrible nutrition on the road, you know.
Oh yeah. That's and you know, as I travel back and forth across the United States, I love going into those truck stops. They've got them nice and clean. And I see that there is more and more healthier options when it comes to the foods that are being offered. So I'm very, very thankful that, and I think our dollar is how we vote. So as we're buying the foods, what are you buying? What are you voting for, folks? Are you going healthy? Are you going fast, convenient, tastes good with a crunch that's actually destroying your health? Just my thought, just my question. But
That's about right. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the first thing that I see is not just the candy bar aisle now, but you've got cups of fruit, you've got hard-boiled eggs, you've got even nitrite-free meats wrapped with cheese. I mean, just lots of different options now.
That sounds good. You're making me hungry.
Oh, tell me about it. Yes, I'm getting hungry as well. My omelet from earlier is wearing thin. So let's talk about inflammation. How does inflammation affect the success of a chiropractic treatment?
Well, inflammation, especially after car accidents, it makes it very difficult, you know, to do the regular chiropractic adjustments. So we usually have to get that inflammation to reduce before we can make much progress. So that's like a stage one thing, the inflammation, to get the inflammation down. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And now let's look at health. And instead of chasing symptoms, we're building it. So medicine often focuses on diagnosing disease, but in your opinion, what does it mean to build health instead?
Well, chasing symptoms is a completely different ballgame. You know, if you get rid of symptoms, you're not necessarily healthy yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have no symptoms and still not be at your top health. Oh, there's a thunderstorm coming in. I hope you can't hear that. You heard that thunder? If we lose power, I'll sign back on.
Okay.
But yeah, chasing symptoms is a completely different ballgame than chasing health. Health is well, you can measure health through, you know, taking your blood pressure,
Mhm.
doing various fitness testing. You're testing your health. It really doesn't have much to do with symptoms. It's more of getting the numbers. It's a numbers game with the health. Symptoms is kind of hard to measure, except for the Oswestry pain scale, you know, 1 to 10. Other than that, you don't have. It's hard to get numbers on symptoms. Where testing health, you can get hard numbers. You know, blood pressure and how fast can you run the mile, etc.
Mm. So whenever I think of chasing symptoms, I think of trying to figure out, okay, which system needs help, not so much the body as a whole needing help, but more just pieces of the body needing help. What
Yeah,
do you
well,
think?
it's convenient. Symptoms are convenient because it is usually localized to, well, I got a sore shoulder or a sore this or a sore that. So it is simpler, you know, to chase symptoms and relieve them than achieving full health. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
simpler. I think it's easier, you know. It's getting rid of symptoms. You're the first thing that we do. But convincing a patient to stay around and get healthy, that's a little tougher because it's because they can't feel it right away. It's kind of a slow process.
Well, and I think people don't really understand the stages and process of decline until they have that pain. So, how do you help people understand that the pain is often not the first stage of the process and it's not adjusting the pain or addressing the pain first?
Well, usually it's self-discovery when I fix. Let's see if I adjust their neck and their shoulder pain goes away, or I adjust their shoulder and their neck pain goes away. Then they start to get it. The kinetic chain, everything's connected. They start to figure it out. But as far as convincing them, that's a little tougher. I try to lead them with questions, I guess. Like, well,
Okay.
if you were to stop drinking 5 cans of Coca-Cola, do you think that might be a good start? You know, because sugar is probably not good for you. You know, you have to give them a lot of information, lead them with questions to try to convince them, but it's a slower process.
Oh, yeah. And then my next question, I used to be one of these people. Okay. And why do you think so many people expect a quick fix instead of long-term health?
Well, quick fixes all around us, and I mean, we're competing with the media, the media machine. I mean, every time you put the TV on, it's like all these drug commercials and quick fix. And take this, and you'll feel great. And then they show people running through a grassy field. I mean, we're competing with that. Come on, it's tough.
So why do you think that educating your clients, educating your patients is important?
Well, to show them that you know the difference between symptoms and health, to educate them and to educate them that just getting adjusted isn't the end all. You know, you have to educate them and tell them the long-term benefits of nutrition, of course, and the adjustment.
And as you're telling them these long-term benefits, how do you motivate your patients to actually follow your recommendations after they leave the office?
Well, I usually give them a checklist of recommendations, and then I just ask them if you could just check these off as you do these, or
Mhm.
complete these tasks for me. Just check them off for me and bring it back next time, and we'll discuss it. And it's this way we can make sure you're following the plan, and that's usually helps motivate them to follow the recommendations somewhat. I hope. I'm not a witness, so I don't know. They're only helping themselves, you know.
Right. That's true. That's very true. And so, integrating nutrition into a clinical practice, what advice do you give other practitioners, whether it's a physician, a chiropractor, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, and other healthcare providers who want to begin incorporating nutrition into their patient care?
But they can hand out brochures. They can have posters. They can even do the muscle testing. I know there's a form of muscle testing that can point out nutritional deficiencies pretty dramatically. I'm trying to remember the name of that muscle testing program, which I have.
Kinesiology.
Yeah, kinesiology testing for nutritional deficiencies is a very good way, a very good convincer. If you know if you have the discipline to get skilled in that muscle testing for that kind of a thing, some of them require huge kits of different minerals and vitamins to have the patient use to do the muscle testing. It's very involved. So I'd say kinesiology to test for deficiencies is probably the best way.
I've actually used kinesiology quite a bit. Um, and I learned about it by coming in contact with a chiropractor who did use kinesiology. And when I started using it in my own practice, we were using it on the complete longevity products.
I would think it'd be a natural. I'm trying to remember the name of the program. It was very popular, and then I haven't heard about it like 10 years. But 10
Yeah.
years ago, it was super popular, and they were doing great. I don't know what happened. I hope he didn't pass away. But a very good program. I'm gonna have to look that up actually. Now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, it was very cool and
Yeah.
so helpful. I mean, when you hold
Yeah.
something up to your chest, so like I've got my tingy tangerine and my osteo effects, and if I hold it, of course, in glass or in metal is not ideal, and sitting on a plastic chair is not ideal. With plastic soled shoes, you're not going to get the right. There's a whole science to it. But you hold your arm out, and if everything is balanced and good for you, and you got the proper environment for it, nobody can press your hand down, your arm down.
Yeah, it's a excellent program. Gosh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the doctor's name, and he was everywhere. Gosh, do you remember his name at all?
Well, I know Brimhall used it a lot in their
Was it
practice.
Brimhall? I believe, yeah. I don't think it was
Yeah.
Brimhall. Though. It was another guy.
There is another one.
But yeah, Brimhall did that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, how would you, as a practitioner, and you're training another practitioner, how would you help teach them to introduce nutritional recommendations without overwhelming the patients? That's the key, is overwhelming them, because people are so deficient.
Well, you can just make you can mention it. You just make a casually mention it or put it in their literature, to read. So
Mm-hmm.
here's some information on this nutrient. I think this might help you, or this is a very people are often lacking this nutrient, and here's some information on it. Just a little bit of information at a time. They shouldn't be overwhelmed by that at all.
All right. And have you found that patients appreciate practitioners who address the whole person rather than just the symptoms?
Yeah, I think they much prefer it. Yeah, absolutely.
And does that integrative approach, does it create happier, more satisfied patients?
Yeah, mine seem to appreciate it. I can only tell you from my experience that it depends on how you approach it, I guess.
Absolutely.
But I think I just try to stay healthy myself, so they can say, "Hey, how do you stay so healthy?" And they say, "Well, I do this and this."
So leading by example,
Leading by example, yes.
it's a good way to do it. Now, looking forward, if there was one thing that you could change in today's healthcare system, what would it be?
I'd make hospitals more holistic, like an entire. I'd have an entire wing dedicated to natural health. Of course, that's never going to happen. But because
Well,
it
don't
is
be so
kind of
negative.
it,
Come on, Doc.
it is kind of anti pharmaceutical.
Oh,
Pharmaceuticals rule they own everything, so it's kind of tough, to get the hospital to put a natural health wing in there. That'd be pretty amazing. I'd like to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen in this
well,
uh,
let's
in
just
this
a whole new
anytime soon.
let's start a whole new type of hospital, holistic hospitals.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
But the problem is they try to shut you down. Unfortunately,
I think something things are changing.
I hope so. I don't know how it can
And
not change.
yeah, although everything is led by the mighty dollar, and if you start removing the dollar from certain pockets, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well,
Let's not
yeah.
go there.
Unfortunately, they have the corporations look a year ahead instead of 20 years ahead. They don't think that far enough into the future. I think if they did, then we'd have holistic hospitals.
Well,
That'd
and
be
you know what's crazy is what doctors have been saying in the last 5-10 years. Dr. Wallach has been saying for 40.
yeah. Dr. Wallach was ahead of his time.
Definitely. definitely. So what gives you hope?
Gosh. You have to take a look at my notes here. I know I wrote this down. Please excuse me. I usually don't look at my notes. What gives me hope? Is this the lightning round already?
No, we're
Oh,
not even
no,
there
it's
yet.
not. Gosh, I didn't put an answer to that. What gives me hope? Well, okay. Uh, in what vein are we talking about? And what
Health,
gives me hope as far as
health,
health?
mhm.
Oh,
Health or your industry.
uh, well, gosh, just the increase in natural health patients. You know, the popularity of natural health, the way it's kind of booming lately. Natural health, really. I mean, all I have to do is uh, I'd be at a party or a gathering, and I say, "Oh, I'm a chiropractor," and people are lined up for adjustments. They don't even know who I am. They line up, just get adjusted right there. At the, they just met me. I'm adjusting these people's necks, their back.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the standing stretch, and their backs cracking, making all this noise, and I'm like, oh my God, these people don't even know me. So that's pretty hopeful, I think. Yeah, that wouldn't have
Oh,
happened when I got out of school. That would never happen.
oh
You know,
no, they kind of like, oh, he's a bone cracker, bone crusher, stay
yeah,
away.
they just were afraid of it. I guess the year 2000 or in 98 is when I graduated, 1998. And yeah, people wouldn't come near me. They didn't want to be adjusted. People were afraid of it. So it's much different now. Yeah. So that gives me hope. I never thought about it, but yeah, people would line up, man. I don't even know who they are.
Crazy.
Yeah, it
So
is crazy.
what message would you like other healthcare providers listening today to remember?
What message in that I think it gets better every day, the acceptance of our natural health habits. So I don't know about the medical doctors, but the natural health people, I think it gets better every day. So it's pretty amazing. So hopefully it'll keep going like that. I don't know what would stop it. It's really getting more and more popular.
And for those who are already patients of a chiropractor, or those who are watching who haven't yet become a patient of chiropractic, what would be a recommendation that you would recommend for somebody to start doing beginning tomorrow morning?
Someone who's not a chiropractic patient, you say?
Yeah, for somebody that is a patient or not a patient,
So anybody, as far as to what
anybody,
to do for their health starting tomorrow?
for their health.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
well, definitely do your 20 minutes of cardio per week, or no, 20 minutes 3 times a week will give you an extra 10 years. 20 minutes
And
of
when you,
cardio 3 times a week at your recommended heart rate. Get your heart rate up to I was hoping I could show I had produced a fitness book about 10 years ago, 300-day fitness journal. Can I plug my own stuff on here? And
absolutely,
I got like
absolutely.
I got like no sales, but I thought it was very well done. And I have actually how to figure out your heart rate you should work out at in here. I had a formula I can give people. Do you have time for that?
Yeah.
Let me
So
see
is
here.
that a book that's on your website?
No, I haven't pushed this book in a couple of years, but I can put it back on there. Yeah,
Where would
but
somebody find it?
it was on. I had it. My publisher had it. I had the link on my website for a while, but I kind of lost hope and I forgot to put it on there. I will put it on there. Uh,
You should put it on there.
After this, I'll put a link to it on the front page. It's Hulu.
Fantastic.
I think it's Hulu Publishing, Hulu. Let's see. It probably
Okay.
says it on the. It probably says it in here. You see, this is published by. It's been that long since I even pushed it. Actually, no, 2017. This is first
That's not too
printing.
long. That's only 9 years.
Oh, yeah, 9 years. And
What's the name
Hulu
of
doesn't.
it again?
This is 300-day fitness journal. Can you see that?
Oh, wow. Yes.
And
300 days journal.
I have
Cool.
a heart rate exercise formula for heart rate in here. Let me see. It was. You had to figure out your heart rate. Let's see here. A few pages in. Oh, there it is. Aerobics. Computing your maximum heart rate. Can you see that? And
I
I'll
can
read
see
it to
parts
you.
of it.
Computing maximum heart rate. My current favorite formula for figuring your maximum sustained heart rate for aerobic exercise is 208 minus 0.7 times your age. So, for example, if you're currently 56, we take 208 minus 0.7 times 56, and that equals 168.8. So about 168 beats per minute is about the highest rate that you can exercise aerobically with a sustained heart rate of 168. And that is from a Runner's World, but that's way back in 2001. It might have changed by now. Runner's World. So,
Wow.
do you want me to repeat that?
So 208 minus your age times 0.7.
Correct. And that's your maximum sustained heart rate that is safe for your age. And you don't want to do that for more than 20 minutes at a time, probably.
And one of my questions was because you had mentioned cardio, and then here you've mentioned aerobic exercise.
Yeah.
What's some other cardio type exercises? When you say cardio, not everybody understands what that means. So
Cardio is like running or a treadmill, any sustained activity that gets your heart rate up.
excellent. Awesome. And we do have a question. So you want to go with that question, or you want to go with our lightning round first?
It's up to you, whatever.
All right, we'll do a couple of the lightning round, and then we will go to the hand that is up. Okay. She always has great questions. She's gonna have to think. Okay, so what is the most underrated nutrient that you have found?
Magnesium. Probably, I'd say magnesium. It's a cofactor in a lot of 300 enzymatic reactions, according to my cheat sheet.
Yeah.
300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. It's a widespread deficiency of magnesium because of processed food. It kind of leaves it out. Key benefits would be sleep and stress, regulates neurotransmitters like GABA to promote relaxation and restful sleep. So take it before bedtime, if possible. As far as the milligrams, whatever it says on the vitamin bottle, I usually take 3. I can't remember what the recommended milligrams are. 3, like 600, I believe. 3 200 milligram pills, but don't take my word on that. It's whatever it says on the bottle, those recommendations. And it also helps your cardiovascular and your bone health. Works with vitamin D and calcium to maintain bone density, so that's important. It's involved in a lot of things. It's a widespread deficiency, and it's involved in a lot of things in the human body having to do with structure, muscle and bone. And also essential for ATP synthesis, which is energy, cell energy.
And that's cell energy within the mitochondria, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, ATP, cellular energy synthesis, yeah. And also other top contenders are potassium, vitamin K2, and choline are 3.
Okay. Well, the nice thing about the way Dr. Wallach has done the nutrition is he incorporates all of them together in ratios with cofactors. So, folks, if the Healthy Body Start Pack, folks, you got heart issues going on, Healthy Body Brain and Heart Pack. If you got bone issues going on, Healthy Body Bone and Joint Pack.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about it.
Yes. So if you've got digestive issues, which most people that have a lot of multiple things going on, you start with the digestion, you're going to probably make the biggest impact. And that's where Dr. Wallach's Healthy Body Bone or Digestion Pack comes in. So next question, what is the best daily health habit somebody can adopt?
I guess oral health. Oral health,
Mm,
brushing your teeth, brush those teeth. I find that the mouthwash is kind of actually can be a lot of people have a bad reaction to the mouthwash. Like, hate to see brand names, like Listerine. Try natural mouthwash instead of the chemical mouthwashes. Oral health has a lot to do, helps a lot to do with heart health. Actually, they found over the long term, if you have poor oral health, it's almost always pairs with heart problems. So
yes.
yeah, brush those teeth. Your dentist will
Okay,
like to
but
hear that. Your dentist will love me.
yes, yes. So, and if you're looking for a natural toothpaste, Longevity also has a natural toothpaste, folks.
Yeah, switch to the
Uh,
natural mouthwashes and toothpaste. The regular chemical mouthwashes and toothpaste are really bad. Am I allowed to say
they are.
that? Gosh,
Yes.
yeah, they're really, really bad. I was shocked because I used to use Listerine like forever. I'm like, oh my God, it's like 20 years of Listerine. Now they tell me, oh man.
Well, yeah, not only are you killing off the bacteria and everything in your mouth, I mean, you're poisoning yourself with
Yeah.
artificial colors, artificial flavors,
Oh,
and artificial chemicals that they add in there. We're not going to mention them, but folks, if you look at the label, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so um, one book every practitioner should read.
well, of course, Dr. Wallach's books, of course, Epigenetics and
I
Dead
love that
Doctors
book.
Don't Lie. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Those two. And let me
Yes,
see my notes. I had a few here. Let me see. Uh, The Healing Mind by Dr. Paul Martin. A foundational read for understanding the physiological and neurological pathways connecting psychological health to physical immunity and recovery. That's a mouthful.
that is a
Um,
mouthful. Say that name of that book one more time.
The Healing Mind by Dr. Paul Martin.
Okay.
And there's one more, Deep Nutrition by Dr. Kate Shanahan.
Hmm.
Oh, did you hear that bolt? Can you hear that? Yeah,
No, we can't hear it.
good.
That's the nice thing about noise suppression on Zoom.
Oh, good. Okay. There's some
So
impressive sounding bolts out there. All right.
yes, yes. Um, Fortunately, we don't have them going on right now. So I'm going to ask Keely to unmute herself as she has a question for you. Dr. Kurt Anderson. Hello, Keely. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, dear?
Doing well,
X,
thank you.
X, X.
Okay, Dr. Kurt, a couple questions for you. Given the fact that I have some crazy 5 grandchildren who are all athletes, okay, what do you find is your number one thing that you have to deal with in young athletes from 9 to 18?
9 to 18, probably the hip problems, hip pain.
As in hip flexor or?
The growth plates sometimes get injured in young athletes because they're kind of more vulnerable to impact.
Yeah,
So we get young athletes with hip joint pain.
yeah,
I
we've
don't know
had
really.
our oldest one has, and actually the 13-year-old, they've got the oldest one has Austrian-Schlotters, where the bones are
Oh,
growing faster than the muscles,
yeah.
and the runner is having issues right now. And then we have an 11-year-old who also does a ton of running. He has the issue in his heels with the growth plate. What do you do in reference to something like that?
All I can do is advise them to ease off. Of course, a lot of them, they don't want to do that. I mean, or you can find a way to add cushion the impact of their activities. Gel-filled insoles, maybe. But then that'll slow them down if they're going for the record on the track, you know.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
tough one. That's a
well,
tough one. Yeah.
we got the 13-year-old in the car with me, and she's listening to you before she gets ready to run her 6 miles.
Oh, 6 miles. Oh my gosh.
That's the training, you know.
Well,
That's what she runs.
yeah. Yeah.
The yeah, it's quite interesting.
I,
What about? Go ahead.
the best thing I can recommend would be a highly uronic acid supplements, which is kind of a gelling joint component, which helps the joint cushioning. Highly uronic acid, which is made from rooster combs. It's pretty expensive because it takes so many roosters to make one bottle of supplements.
Yeah, these kids are on all of Doc's protocols to the 10th degree. And in some cases, when they're running full tilt out because they play multiple sports, we basically triple the protocol in order to support the amount of energy that they're expending. Bye, honey. That's one. The other thing is that, given the fact that you are a chiropractor, could, could you describe when people need to come to a conclusion that they need you instead of the allopathic medical system?
When do they need the
What do you got?
chiropractor instead of the medical doctor?
Yes.
Eh, joint pain that won't go away. Lack of range of motion, problems with range of motion, unexplained neck or shoulder pain that doesn't respond to massage or stretching. Usually it's a kind of a stuck joint that just needs to get unstuck.
All right. Now, I do have one more for you, and that is I have a husband who is 69 years old. He is a golfer. And of course, he's complaining about his wrist pain. But what's interesting is that when he goes to sleep at night, he, even though he's been to a chiropractor about 7 times, I think he's pinched off in the neck. His left arm goes to sleep, and then he got the tingling in his fingers, and then he wakes up complaining. Um, He's been to the chiropractor about 6 times, and there's still really nothing happening. He's on all of the protocols. What would you suggest? Because the allopathic medical system says that he's got carpal tunnel, and I just don't believe that that's exactly what it is. What would you say to him?
I would have his shoulder and elbow evaluated. That could be lead to the carpal tunnel symptoms. I would clear out that shoulder and elbow first,
Okay.
and then the wrist itself. Have them work on that tunnel and try to put that kind of adjust it back in there, and
Okay.
Wrist extension exercises.
All right. You don't think it's too much golf game?
I'm sorry.
You don't think it's too much golf game?
Too much golf? No, we can't. No, we better not say that. He'll hate me. Keep golfing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Great questions. Thank you, Keely. And let's go over to Mary. Mary, what questions do you have for Dr. Kurt today?
Yes. Hi, Dr. Kurtz. Yes, I had one of those joints loosened up today at a place, the L5. So I understand all of that. My question is, in addition to nutrition, I noticed that you use red light therapy, and I wanted to know, do you use it regularly with your patients, and how does red light therapy help in the recovery, and how often do you use it in your practice?
I've just been using the red light with a holistic practitioner, a friend of mine. I have not used it in practice much.
Okay.
Usually patients don't have the time for it, but I'd love to incorporate it into my practice. I think it does great things for I heard it's good for the mitochondria and has whole body benefits, pretty amazing whole body benefits. But I'm not that familiar with it. I heard good things about it. And since I trust my holistic friend there, I just whatever she says, I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you say it's good, then I do it. So it seems to help me. Sometimes when I get sinus pain from allergies, I'll put it right on my sinuses for 10 minutes, and it's amazing. I always wake up and the sinus pain is gone. So it does something. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used it and I felt definitely improvement, reduced inflammation, I believe, and you know, depending on the depth, I guess, of your red light or near infrared light, it feels like it definitely does make a difference in the recovery process. Is
Yeah,
what I
I
feel.
always look forward to it. She has a whole panel. It's so bright. I have to put sunglasses on there.
Right.
But yeah, great stuff. I all for the red light stuff. Yeah, I have to
Okay.
learn. I have to learn more about it though, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you work on animals as well, or just humans?
And I've helped friends' pets. I haven't done it professionally though, but I do know of an animal chiropractor that works on horses, believe it or not. And she'll take a whole horse's head and twist it around, and you can hear the adjustment. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This She adjusts horses, the Atlas mainly. Does this Atlas move. It's really amazing.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much,
Ah,
Becca. Back
nice
to
to meet
you.
you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary and Dr. Anderson. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your passion to help people live healthier lives. Our hope today, folks, is that this conversation encourages both healthcare professionals and patients to recognize that great healthcare isn't about choosing between excellent clinical care, but also incorporating nutrition. And it's excellent nutrition, because not all nutrition is created the same. So we want to bring those all together. And thank you, Dr. Kurt, for helping us bring that together today.
Oh, my
And
pleasure.
practitioners, when you are educating, make sure that you're also including that nourishment and empowering your patients, not just treating the symptoms, as they create opportunities for better healing, better outcomes, and healthier communities, which is what we are all about. Because as we're helping ourselves, helping our families, helping our communities, we are in fact helping to become a healthier world. So thank you again for joining us, everybody. My name is Becca Dukes. You have been watching Daily with Doc and Becca with Dr. Kurt Anderson, DC, on with us today. If we could get our co-hosts up on the screen, I'm so thankful that I don't have to do this alone. And I just want to encourage everybody, keep learning, keep growing, keep asking questions. And remember that we're empowered to be and create better by the minute health journeys. So today we have on with us Marilyn, who is doing just a fantastic job as she puts information into the chat. So that if you're taking notes, she's helping you. So she can type faster than we can talk. And you can then read what was said. If you missed any part of it, she's fantastic at doing that. We also have my executive production manager, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is helping to bring us all together, making sure that things are going just as planned. Thank you so much, Ruth Ellen. We have Albert joining us from South Africa, and he is our gatekeeper, letting people in. Thank you so much, Albert, for being with us here in the middle of the night and beyond. He is very consistent and showing how much he cares about people by showing up for others. So thank you so much, Albert. And we have Mary joining us as well. Thank you so much, Mary, as she is helping with bringing in questions from the different platforms, keeping an eye on things there, and just really adding to the conversation as she, and also one of our question askers, Keely, both have very athletic and energetic and just amazing families, and they want to help keep them healthy too. And folks, you can do the same. So as you're looking at healthcare, don't think that there's just one way to do it, especially when you're dealing with the structure or joints. take into consideration chiropractic as being a modality that could be that missing piece with the nutrition. So Dr. Kurt, if somebody wanted to get a hold of your book, and it's going to be in a couple hours, where would they go to find your book and get more information about you?
Oh, well, thanks so much for calling attention to my book. This is great. I'll make sure I'll put a link to it on the front page of that website at bodyworks.us.
Okay.
And I'm glad you reminded me about the book, because I had forgot about it, actually. Have not pushed it for a long time, so maybe we'll get some sales. That'd be kind of cool.
And that is BODYWORX.US.
That is
Well,
correct.
perfect. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kurt Anderson, for being here with us
Well,
today.
thank you. It's been great.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge and your experience with us.
Yeah, that's actually the first interview I've ever done. I've always been like the backup quarterback, covering for other doctors. So it's kind of nice to be the center of attention for once.
There you are. You are the center of attention today on Daily with Doc. So you're the doc.
That's
And
great.
folks, yeah, so folks, if you want more information about what you can do to help empower yourself, your family, your community, and you are working with somebody or heard about this program by somebody else, make sure that you get back with them. Again, they are your #1 point of contact because they cared enough about you to share this program. And if you are not already working with somebody and would like to get in contact with a certified holistic health coach, I do have a team standing by waiting for your call at 855-949-3377. That's 855-949-3377. And if you prefer email or you have questions that you would like to write in so that we can get those answered for you, it is questions with an S at dailywithdoc.com. So you can email your questions and we'll get those answers to you. Thank you once again, everybody, for being here with us. Just have a fabulous day. And don't forget to join us tomorrow, as it is Pharmacist Fridays with pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Bye for now. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor. is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to continue to share the teachings of a founding father of the science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach, Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, 4 postdoctorates in pathology, naturopathic doctor.